The European Convention on Human Rights. The European Convention on Human Rights is an international agreement created by the Council of Europe to protect fundamental human rights and freedoms across its member states. The key provisions of the European Convention on Human Rights are a set of legal rights and freedoms that governments must respect and protect for everyone within their jurisdiction. The main articles in the Convention are Articles 5, 6, 8, 10, and 11. Article 5. Article 5 provides the right to liberty and security of the person, protecting individuals from unlawful or arbitrary detention by the state. This means that a person cannot be deprived of their freedom unless it is done lawfully and according to proper legal procedures. The key terms in Article 5 are liberty, security, lawful arrest, and reasonable suspicion. Liberty is the freedom of a person to move and live without unjustified interference or detention by the authorities. Security is the protection of a person from unlawful detention and the assurance that their freedom will not be taken away without legal justification. Lawful arrest is the detention of a person carried out according to the law and proper legal procedures. Reasonable suspicion is the belief that a person may have committed a crime based on objective facts, providing legal justification for arrest. Article 6. Article 6 provides the right to a fair trial for anyone involved in criminal or civil proceedings. This means that a person must be given a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal established by law. The key terms in Article 6 are fair trial, independent tribunal, impartial tribunal, and public hearing. A fair trial means that legal proceedings are conducted justly, where both sides are able to present their case and the decision is based on the evidence. An independent tribunal is a court or body that is free from influence or control by the government or other external pressures. An impartial tribunal is a court or judge that does not favor either side and makes decisions without bias. A public hearing means that court proceedings are normally open to the public and the press so that justice is transparent. Article 8. Article 8 provides the right to respect for private and family life, home, and correspondence. This means that individuals have the right to live their personal and family lives without unnecessary interference from the state. The key terms in Article 8 are private life, family life, home, and correspondence. Private life is a person's right to personal privacy, including their identity, personal relationships, and personal activities. Family life is the right of individuals to maintain relationships with their family members without unjustified interference. Home is a place where a person lives and has the right to enjoy privacy and protection from unlawful intrusion. Correspondence is communication, such as letters, phone calls, or electronic messages that should remain private and protected from interference. Article 10. Article 10 provides the right to freedom of expression, allowing individuals to express their opinions and share information and ideas without unjustified interference by the state. This means that people are free to communicate their views and receive information through speech, writing, media, or other forms of communication. The key terms in Article 10 are freedom of expression, opinions, information, and interference. Freedom of expression is the right of individuals to express ideas, beliefs, and opinions without unjustified restrictions. Opinions are personal beliefs or viewpoints that individuals are free to hold and communicate. Information is facts, news, or knowledge that people have the right to receive and share with others. Interference means actions by authorities that restrict or limit a person's ability to express or communicate ideas. Article 11. Article 11 provides freedom of assembly and association, allowing individuals to gather peacefully and join groups or organizations. This means that people have the right to meet together, protest peacefully, and form or join organizations such as trade unions. The key terms in Article 11 are assembly, association, peaceful protest, and trade union. Assembly is the right of people to gather together in groups for meetings, demonstrations, or protests. Association is the right of individuals to join or form groups, organizations, or societies for a shared purpose. Peaceful protest is a demonstration where people express their views publicly without violence or disorder. Trade unions are organizations formed by workers to represent and protect their interests in the workplace. Restrictions. The restrictions that are permitted by the European Convention on Human Rights are limits placed on certain rights where they are necessary to protect the rights of others, maintain public safety, and uphold the interests of society. Restrictions from the OCR. National security is a restriction where rights may be limited to protect the safety and stability of the state from serious threats. Public safety is a restriction where certain rights may be limited to protect people from danger or serious harm. The prevention of disorder or crime is a restriction where rights may be limited to maintain law and order and prevent criminal activity. The protection of health is a restriction where rights may be limited to protect the physical and mental well-being of the public. The protection of morals is a restriction where rights may be limited to maintain accepted standards of behavior within society. The protection of the rights and freedoms of others is a restriction where a person's rights may be limited to ensure that other people's rights are equally protected. The prevention of the disclosure of information received in confidence is a restriction where rights may be limited to protect confidential information from being revealed. Maintaining the authority and impartiality of the judiciary is a restriction where rights may be limited to protect the fairness and independence of the courts. Restrictions from domestic law. Proportionality is a restriction where any limitation on a right must be balanced and not excessive compared with the aim it is trying to achieve, and this principle comes from the Human Rights Act 1998. Police stop and search is a restriction where a person may be temporarily detained and searched in order to prevent crime or find prohibited items, and this restriction comes from the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984. Detention after arrest is a restriction where a person's liberty may be limited while the police investigate a suspected offense, and this restriction comes from the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984. Control of public protests is a restriction where authorities may place conditions on demonstrations to prevent disorder or disruption, and this restriction comes from the Public Order Act 1986. Restrictions on freedom of expression is a restriction where speech may be limited if it encourages hatred or discrimination against others, and this restriction comes from the Public Order Act 1986. Thank you for watching this video on the European Convention on Human Rights. I'll see you in the next one.